So this week we're going to learn about dictionaries. And dictionaries are a collection data type, just like lists are. Dictionary. And when we learned about lists, so let's say we have a list one, we have a collection of data, which could be of really any kind of data type, right? So we can have some strings, we can have some numbers, we can throw in a Boolean here. And the way we can access any elements of the list is using the index. So we know that the very first element of the list is index 0, then 1, then 2, and so on. So this is an ordered data type, a data structure actually, and the way that we access it is using index values, and the elements are stored in order, so the computer actually knows that 3, wherever it gets stored in the computer, is actually at index 0 of list 1, right? So if we want to access the first element of list 1, we just call list 1 sub 0, and that would access us this value 3. Dictionaries, instead of using indexing, they use something called a key. So if I have a dictionary, then I'm going to have a key value pair. So if we think of this as the value of this list, right? So this is the value at index 0. The value at index 1 is the string 2. The value at index 2 of list 1 is the Boolean value true. We don't use indexing in dictionaries. Dictionaries are unordered, and the way we access the value is through a key. So we use curly braces to indicate to Python that this is a dictionary. We give the key some sort of identifier. So let's say we use a string here. So we're going to say that at the key name, then we put a colon. So this is the key. So let's say we have the string Alicia. That's the name that we're storing. So this is one key value pair. Then we can add another key value pair. So maybe we have the age key, and that's going to be, maybe the integer 12. All right, she's a child. So we have in our dictionary a set of key value pairs. So if I wanted to return Alicia, then I would actually say, call my dictionary sub name. And this would return, if I printed this out, this would print Alicia. And if I called dict sub age, this would return 12. It's just like saying in our list we have an index, list 1 sub 0 would return us the value. Instead here we don't use indexing, we actually use keys to label specific values. So whatever's stored in the name key in this case, when we actually call that, we're going to say we want dict sub name, we would get Alicia. If we did age, we would get 12. The thing to remember about dictionaries is that they're unordered. So if you actually printed this dictionary out, sometimes name Alicia might show up first, other times age 12 might show up first. We can have lots of other key value pairs. There's no order to this dictionary. The only way you can access particular values is through the key. The other thing is keys have to be unique in a dictionary. So I can't have name again. That key has already been used. Just like we only have one index of 0, we only can have one key of name. You can't repeat age, you can't repeat name. These all have to be unique values. The other thing that the keys have to be immutable data types. So you could use a string, you could use a number, but you could not use, for instance, a list as a key. Values, on the other hand, can be any data type. So I could actually have a list instead of a string here. I can have any sort of data type. I can even have mutable data types like lists. Keys, on the other hand, cannot be mutable, and like I said, they must be unique. So that's sort of some dictionary basics. Let's take a look at dictionaries now in a little bit more depth.